first reading is from Matthew 14, and there are 3 different stories that are told within this chapter, but I'm going to focus on the last story, and that starts in verse 22, and it's about Jesus walking on the water. And a couple of things really stood out to me from this certain passage in the chapter. I found myself coming back to this story, and specifically to the part in the story where Peter begins to walk on the water and then he falls. So it's the part in the story where the disciples were in a boat. It was at night. Jesus comes to them. He's walking on the water. They're scared. He says, "Do not be afraid. It's me." Peter says, "Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you on the water." Jesus says, "Come." And then Peter starts to, and he takes a step and he starts, and then he sees the wind and he's afraid and he starts to sink. And Jesus catches him and he says, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" And it made me think something that I just wish the Bible, what's hard for me is that I often read the Bible in the narrative, that's going on in my head. And something I tell my children is the way you say something is important, just as important as what you're saying. And so I think sometimes I read this, or I found myself even reading it today as this condescending tone, like, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" When really I think that Jesus is a lot more compassionate than I am. And I think that it is more of a, "You of little faith, why did you doubt me? Like, do you not know who I am and how much I love you?" So that was the one thing. And then I realized how much I make this story about Peter. And I make it about Peter's failure and not about Jesus walking on the water. I mean, it's subtitled in my Bible, "Jesus Walks on the Water." And it's not titled, Peter fails, Peter doubts, Peter is afraid. It's about Jesus walking on the water. And I think that, like Peter, I often take my eyes off of what's important, or rather who is important. I let my eyes wander to the wind, or to whatever's glistening, or to whatever fears I have, rather than keeping them focused on Jesus. And so that was a challenge to me, and I encourage us, let that be a challenge to you, for us to take a step of faith, whatever that looks like, whatever that step of faith looks like in your life or my life. Let us take that step knowing who it is who has the power to walk on water, and also who it is who so graciously and compassionately catches us when we fall.